From Alexander the Great to King of Cool Sonny Crockett, Colin Farrell has played his share of legends over the years, but he's also missed out on a few opportunities, from a boy band star to Oscar-winning Brokeback Mountain.
I always wanted to be a mechanic. You know, I always had a knack for fixing things.
Farrell was just 17 when he was asked to try out for Irish boy band Boyzone. Despite his great rendition of George Michael's Careless Whisper, which he sang for his audition, Farrell made the top 10 finalists to join the group, but ultimately just missed out. Instead, Farrell started acting and landed a role in the BBC series Ballykiss-Angel, and then director Joel Schumacher's 2000 war drama Tigerland.
You are pissing your life away.
Well, I don't need an army, and I don't need the war to tell me that, sir.
Farrell had a pivotal year in 2002, playing a soldier again, Lieutenant Thomas W. Hart in Hart's War, after Edward Norton bailed on the movie over creative differences. Farrell also co-starred in 2002's Minority Report after Matt Damon had to drop out over scheduling conflicts when the shoot was delayed. Javier Bardem was then offered the role, but has said he was not ready at the time. And that same year, Farrell headlined Phone Booth after both Will Smith and Jim Carrey turned it down.
I line of newspapers and magazines who sell my lies to more and more people.
The following year, Farrell was considered for the title role in Daredevil before eventually being cast as the villain Bullseye opposite Ben Affleck, but only after Vin Diesel turned down both roles to make XXX. Meanwhile, after Mark Wahlberg turned down SWAT to make The Italian Job and Paul Walker had to drop out for Too Fast, Too Furious, Farrell starred in the action flick inspired by the 70s TV series of the same name. Farrell is among a handful of actors who turned down the acclaimed Brokeback Mountain, clearing the way for Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger. And speaking of Ledger, Farrell starred in co-writer-director Oliver Stone's Alexander after Ledger dropped out.
This is the man who is going to take you from Greece to Persia.
Farrell was also offered the role of Vincent in 2004's Collateral after Russell Crowe left over a scheduling issue, and Edward Norton and John Travolta declined. Farrell passed as well, clearing the way for Tom Cruise, but he did join up with director Michael Mann for 2006's Miami Vice. Around the same time, Pierce Brosnan began suggesting Farrell to fill his shoes as James Bond in 2006's Casino Royale, but Farrell has said he was never interested or offered.
You don't think this is a very good plan, do you?
He was originally cast as one of the incarnations of Bob Dylan in 2007's I'm Not There, but writer-director Todd Haynes replaced him with Ledger over personal reasons. In 2008, Farrell and Edward Norton starred in Pride and Glory, replacing original leads Hugh Jackman and Mark Wahlberg. Farrell also signed on for In Bruges after writer-director Martin McDonagh convinced him, earning a Golden Globe Award.
Oh, great day this has turned out to be.
After working with Terrence Malick's 2005 movie The New World, Farrell passed on The Tree of Life, as did Heath Ledger, clearing the way for Brad Pitt to star in 2011. A year later, Farrell beat out Tom Hardy and Michael Fassbender to land the lead in the Total Recall reboot. In 2015, Farrell returned to the small screen in Season 2 of True Detective after his New World co-star Christian Bale was rumored to have turned down the role. And he starred in The Lobster after Jason Clarke dropped out, earning his second Globe nom.
Now, have you thought of what animal you'd like to be if you end up alone?
Yes, a lobster.
Farrell starred in 2019's Dumbo after Will Smith, Chris Pine, and Casey Affleck all turned down the role, and plays a master thief in Disney's Artemis Fowl. He's also set to play another comic book villain as the Penguin in Matt Reeves' upcoming The Batman.
I used to want to be an astronaut.